Oh my Lord.
On today's show, meet Larry, Minnesota's Purple Martin Man. Volunteers get to work cleaning up after a busy downhill ski season.
Got a GoPro charger.
And we scoop up the fun at Minnesota's Spoon Festival.
Minnesota Bound, presented by Connecticut Water Treatment Systems.
Hi everybody, Bill, Millie, and I welcome you to Minnesota Bound. You know, every summer in one of the busiest backyards in Minnesota, you'll find Larry Leonard caring and watching for purple martins.
Yeah, the birds like to show off in his backyard, but even more amazing, the life and times of purple martins. Ron Chera has the story.
Come springtime, this might be the busiest backyard in Brainerd, Minnesota. Just watch. They fly, they swoop, they twitter, and they are purple martins residing in Larry and Irene Leonard's backyard.
Today should be the first day that any hatch, but other than that, they just flying around, and they, when they're nest building.
It's fair to say Larry Leonard is an avid purple martin man.
Yeah, I got 31 pair. They've got 161 eggs. Yeah, I do nest checks every 4 days. They're a friendly, very friendly, easygoing bird.
Larry's caregiver role begins sometime between early and late April when the martins return to his yard from, you won't believe it, their wintering grounds. Where? The answer later.
I got my start with purple martins back in about 1970. I was looking for a woodworking project, so I built the purple martin house.
It was easier back then to attract martins by simply erecting houses. Unfortunately, purple martin populations are on the decline.
I had about 40 or 41 pair one year, and then a couple years back it started declining.
Reasons why martins are declining are many, including other birds.
A lot of sparrows and starlings raise heck with them.
Keeping watch over his nesting birds keeps Larry busy day after day.
These are
Oh my Lord.
day old here.
Oh,
Looks like we got one egg yet to go.
featherless. What do they get fed?
You wouldn't believe it, but they feed dragonflies.
Really?
Yes. Yeah, we got
Oh, they're
6
waiting to
eggs.
be hatched.
Yeah.
Wow.
We got a male here.
Oh,
He's got a Minnesota band. T351 is the Minnesota band.
did you band him?
Yeah. And then this is the federal band here.
Indeed, Larry does more than watch and care for his backyard residents. He's active in the Purple Martin Conservation Association.
The Purple Martin Conservation Association has a program called Martin Watch. They recommend that you do nest checks every 4 days and keep track of what's going on in the nests. Then at the end of the year, we submit all of these reports to them, and they keep a record. That's the way they keep track of the purple martin population. Last year, my total was 3,080 young birds have fledged from my housing. Since I started keeping track, I only started keeping track in 2002, so how many left before that, I don't know.
Larry also places tiny leg bands on most of the baby martins hatched in his houses.
Each state has their own band, and a different color and a different numbering system.
A few years ago, some of Larry's martins were outfitted with tiny geolocators that tracked their migration flights.
Well, this is, you can see where they They've left my yard here in Minnesota, and they fly from here to Brazil.
They migrate as far as the Amazon River?
Absolutely, every year. And I've had some here that have been at least 8 years old, so they've made the trip quite a few times.
Here's another amazing fact about martins, revealed in Larry's own Purple Martin Prognosticator that predicts egg hatching dates and when the young might be ready to leave the nest. A baby martin goes from no feathers, no nothing, to a fully fledged martin in a mere 28 days. And so it goes. The Purple Martin show goes on from morning to night in his backyard, and on most days, that's where you'll find Larry and his wife Irene, occupying what he calls his stadium seating. It's a pair of chairs. The Purple Martin's aerial act never disappoints.
Minnesota Bound is brought to you by Connecticut Water Treatment Systems, Star Bank, Rapid Marine Family of Dealerships, and by Busch Light.
Do you know your water score? When it comes to your home's water, we know you may have questions. Whether it's city or well, find out what's in your water with a free water analysis. Treat yourself to cleaner, softer laundry, spotless dishes, and worry-free drinking water when you upgrade to Connecticut, the world's most efficient water treatment system, and save up to 25% during our Spring Into Savings sale. Visit us online at Connecticut.com to find a dealer near you. Life is better with Connecticut Water.
The Bush Guide, cold and smooth survival skills. If you encounter one wolf, chances are there's a pack nearby. Fortunately, the same applies to beer. Head for the mountains of
Time on the water is good for our families, our friendships, and it's good for our souls. That's why Rapid Marine remains committed to helping anglers and boaters get on the water and stay on the water. At 4 convenient Minnesota locations, their professional sales team and service techs are ready to handle all of your boating needs. Their showrooms are stocked with the state's largest inventory of new and used boats. At Rapid Marine, it's their mission to help you make memories on the water.
Ron Shera here. Just thinking about fishing, thinking about why Star Bank is our bank at Ron Shera Productions. You see, Star Bank is family owned, therefore you are treated like family. Call Star Bank, a person answers. Walk into Star Bank, they know your name. Star Bank is growing, now 11 locations in Minnesota. The latest is in Hancock and Stevens County. Yeah, Star Bank makes you feel good in many ways, just like a fish on the end of my line. Oh yeah.
Member FDIC.
The Bush Guide, cold and smooth survival skills. In unpredictable conditions, pack layers, both for your body and your beer. Bush. Head for the mountains.
We are headed now towards Afton Alps ski area where the season is wrapped up, but it's time for spring cleaning. Ah, the trickle of spring. The sound of Minnesota's ski season slowly fading away. But the work never ends. Time for spring cleaning.
After a winter season, we want to come do our part. And today is really about our ski community coming together, supporting each other.
Move slow, be careful because this place is very different without snow.
Today we're here at Afton Alps in our beautiful property that borders both Minnesota and Wisconsin.
Maybe speed tape?
Fascinating, right, to see the difference in the landscape from winter to summer.
I'm going to try to get the same zone and kind of know where all the secret spots are now.
We do this annually. We wait till the snow melts. We bring back our employees, our ski race team, our patrol team, and we get together, pick up some trash that maybe happened over the winter, and we have a great time.
Here, buck kill. It's super. Oh, here's a buck. Here's a buck kill one.
what goes up sometimes comes back down.
Yeah, we focus heavily on under the chairlift.
Back is our only way back up is chair 3.
Bones! Sorry, show the ring. Ring.
Old film canister.
We'll find cell phones,
A few cell phones, a money clip.
GoPro cameras.
Got a GoPro charger.
We'll test it and see if we can turn it to the owner, if we're able to.
You can see what the photos were because the cameras are pretty trash.
Most of it is spent a winter under snow, so it's probably not working anymore.
Typically, you have more skiers on the mellower trails.
And I gave them some work.
A better chance of finding the stuff.
And then we'll recycle everything.
I will not. They came to experience our mountain.
Hand warmers.
A plug-in cover.
You got a Burton toe strap from a binding.
It's pretty cool to see a lot of the same faces and people that you see in the winter come back in the summer and help us clean up and take care of the hill with us.
Oh, I found some poles. I'm in the rental department, so poles are a happy thing for me.
This is one way that we impact our environment and be really good stewards.
This isn't good for the animals.
It really shows the dedication and just the love for Afton that everybody has.
Cleaning this up is what really matters.
Always treasures.
You have to give back, and this is important to the environment. It has to do with people and being kind and being helpful.
We got a few passes, old lift tickets. There's an employee pass, somebody's missing that. So we'll turn those in.
Today is all about us doing good.
It's showing them that this is your hill. This is a family.
The hill's all clear, just like the weather. Until next December.
This is a commitment for us. We are committed to our environment, which is a core value for us.
Coming up, the story behind Milan's Spoon Festival. Yep, it's a thing.
Closed captioning provided by Flow Docks and Lifts.
Flow aluminum dock systems are made to bring time at the lake to a whole new level. You can create any layout you want and accessorize it for comfort and fun. They're strong, stable, safe, and they add a beautiful touch to your shoreline that will last for a very long time. Maybe it's time to join the thousands of other families that have turned their dock into a shoreline paradise. Maybe it's time for a Flow.
Would you believe there's a festival entirely dedicated to spoons? Well, believe it. The Milan Spoon Gathering in Milan, Minnesota attracts visitors from all over the world, including wood spoon carvers and spoon enthusiasts. You have to see it to believe it. Tucked away in the small town of Milan, Minnesota, a town of just 250 people, something special happens each year.
We're here for a spoon carving festival, and we've doubled the population with carvers, so we're all gathered here to skill share and preserve all things spoon. This thing started as a small group for a bunch of spoon nerds, and now it's grown to be like a globally recognized event, so it's pretty special.
You may be wondering, why Milan, Minnesota?
The art school here, it's the oldest folk art school in the state.
It all started nearly 2 decades ago. Today, the Milan Spoon Gathering attracts folks from all over the globe, and spoons are just the beginning.
We used to say that spoons were sort of the gateway drug to green woodworking and woodworking in general.
probably one of the oldest crafts known to man. Like the spoon, I like to think, is probably the first tool every human comes into contact when they first enter the world. Babies eat out of a spoon. And a lot of people think spoons are very silly until they start making one and they realize the complexities and engineering. And that makes it sound difficult, but it's quite awesome, and it's an object everyone in the world knows. And it doesn't have to be strictly spoon carving, even though we're a spoon type of festival. So we have bowl turning happening, and anything that's in the realm of green woodworking, which is like a living wood, it still has moisture.
Every artist arrives with a style shaped by the fire for their passion.
I saw a demo. The demonstration was done by someone who would become my mentor. His name is Jared Dahl. More recently, I spent a couple weeks with Jared learning some advanced techniques on the pole lathe. A lot of people love to share their techniques, learn from each other. That's what I really love about it.
Well, I've always liked knives and axes. Like, how can you not like knives and axes? Ever since I can remember. And an axe, like an axe is cool. Well, I think I do two things that are different than most people here. I work very small. I make small, short spoons, and I'm a coal roaster, which is like tattooing the wood. So I finish a spoon, and then I make a little incision in the wood, and I fill that incision. I like to use cinnamon. It's very versatile, and it's pretty accessible to people because all you need is the point of a sharp knife.
Sometimes it's the wood that holds the story just as rich as the hands that carve it.
I'm carving some water oak, and this water oak is from Arlington Cemetery. It's the #1 Medal of Honor tree for Martin Luther King Jr. I thought I'd bring him here with some of the best spoon carvers and see what we could do.
Beyond the craft of carving, it's the people that make this festival special.
The carving community is pretty sweet. It's pretty rapidly growing community worldwide, and with social media, the way that folks can connect, have this shared excitement for making wood smaller.
For many, this festival is more than carving. It's about connection.
As our society has progressed, I think because of these, there's a need for connection, and I do think that people need to make things with their hands to feel useful. You know, I think it's really important to keep people in touch with their humanness. You get all this knowledge built up in different crafts about wood, about how to do things. If you don't keep them around and you don't keep them alive, all that knowledge is lost. The biology of the materials you're using, all part of being human.
Because I feel to keep these things alive, you want to be like a bumblebee pollinating and sharing craft. There's something very fun and non-competitive about it, because we want to see everyone having fun and preserving all these great objects. And who doesn't want to drink with a wooden cup or eat with a wooden spoon and swing an axe all day? It's really fun.
Straight ahead, Ron Shera checks out a few fun spring destinations close to home.
Minnesota Bound is brought to you by Crush City, Premier Marine, and by Totem Resorts, the premier destination for world-class fishing.
No matter how you do water, there's a Premier pontoon for you. Because Premier pontoons are the best riding, best built, and have the best technology in the industry, with countless floor plans to choose from and exclusive award-winning innovations like Revolution seating and Troll and Stow. So whether you're looking for your first pontoon or your next, look to Premier.
Today's Minnesota Bound Classic takes Ron Schara all the way back to the year 1997.
Where he struck up a song all about a few of our great state destinations.
Sometimes it's been said we can't see the forest for the trees. If so, maybe sometimes we forget the theater of seasons we have in this piece of earth called Minnesota. Maybe it's time to remember. Remember a place called Itasca, where the Mississippi River begins. Maybe America begins here too.
In the north of Minnesota, where the tall pines grow, there's a place called Itasca, from whence a river flows. From a wilderness lake amid the trees, the water swift and clear. It's called the Mississippi, America starts here. That's the magic of Itasca, land of pines and bounden deer, and the father of our waters, America starts here.
This is Lanesboro, Minnesota. A bit of Americana lingers here, but now folks ride bicycles on trails where steam trains once chugged. But the Root River still runs and flows around its many bends, and anglers seek trout as they have for decades.
Most rivers in this area, or in any area, are totally underutilized. Land of 10,000 lakes is what they call Minnesota, but they never talk about the rivers.
To the western horizon, Minnesota has a different face, the face of rolling prairie and endless skies. A pioneer girl, Laura Ingalls Wilder, roamed the banks of Plum Creek out west here, and Plum Creek still flows.
The sky downturned a brazen bowl above me, and clanging with the calls of the wild gray geese, winging their way into the distant Southland to escape the coming storms in rest and peace.
On the North Shore, next to the largest inland lake in the world, we come to renew our roots with raw nature, to hike its rugged granite along the Superior Trail, and measure ourselves against the vastness of Gitche Gumee.
And best of all, it's very common here not to see anyone at all when you're out fishing. There's not a lot of places left in North America where you can do that.
In Minnesota's only national park, time seems to stand still as the park's many waterways and islands seem so little changed. Only we change. We enjoy voyagers with simple tents or fancy houseboats, but the 500 islands don't move a bit. What we have in Minnesota seems endless. So many lakes, so many giant tributes to wild catches and wild things. We also have more bald eagles soaring over the land, probably more than we've had in a half century. Our national emblem seems at home here. That alone ought to make us appreciate even more this place called Minnesota.
Now that is going back in time.
Speaking of time, we're out of it. We hope you'll join us back here next week.
In the meantime, remember, introduce a kid to the great outdoors.
Transportation provided by Premier Transportation. Call 1-800-899-7433. To get more Minnesota Bound, including full episodes, go to mnbound.com. And to follow our latest adventures, like us on Facebook.